Good afternoon. I'm Alfonso Morris, a graduating senior and a member of the Eastridge High School Student Cabinet. I invite you to please stand, remove your hats, and face the flag as the Minnesota Army National Guard presents our nation's colors. Along with the National Guard is one of our own Eastridge graduates, Sergeant Samuel Christensen, class of 2016. As the flag is presented, class of 2020 student Bailey Stevenson will sing our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms, left, face, forward, march.
Please be seated. Thank you to the Minnesota Orchestra, Senior Bailey Stevenson, and the Minnesota Army National Guard for the presentation of colors. And now, please help me in welcoming our principal, Mr. Jim Smokovich.
Good evening. I am Jim Smokovich, principal of Eastridge High School. And on behalf of the entire staff and District 833, I am honored to welcome you to our 2020 commencement ceremony. Seniors, we all collectively wish you were here with us today for this event. Typically, we'd be together celebrating in the perch at Eastridge. Sadly, world circumstances have shifted plans for us, and physical distancing prevents us from celebrating the way we want to. For that, I am sorry. Each of you have developed individually in your preparation for graduation, as well as collectively as a class, and all of you have established yourselves to what is known and will forever be the class of 2020. Your place in Eastridge High School history will be celebrated for years to come. Your shared sacrifice of forgoing much of the celebrations of your senior year is honored. As the governor said, your actions have saved lives. Thank you for your sacrifice. It demonstrates that the future of our community, our country, and our world is in good hands. While we cannot be together physically tonight, parts of our ceremony are pre-recorded. Other parts of the ceremony are live, such as right now. We want you to know that we enjoyed seeing all of our seniors and their families today that participated in the photo event. It was very special for us and hopefully for you as well. Additionally, we want you to know that this evening at 8:33 p.m., we will turn on the lights at the Nest for 20 minutes to celebrate the class of 2020. If you want to add comments through the chat during the ceremony this evening, we will periodically post comments on the screen during graduation. This is meant to give us some interaction on this important day. Throughout today's graduation, all senior members of our student cabinet to the administration will support us in the ceremony. Please welcome our first student presiders, Lieve Minders and Jared Duran.
Good evening, my name is Lieve Minders.
And my name is Jared. With us today for our virtual ceremony are several honored guests. At this time, I would like to thank each of them for their support of Eastridge High School. Tracy Brunette, School Board Chair. Katie Schwartz, School Board Vice President. Sharon Van Leer, School Board Vice Chair. Patricia Driscoll, School Board Treasurer. Louise Hines, School Board Director. Melinda Doles, School Board Director. Simi Patniak, School Board Director.
Michael Johnson, Assistant Superintendent. Julie Nielsen, Assistant Superintendent. Christine Schaefer, Assistant Superintendent, and Dr. Keith Jacobus, Superintendent of Schools. The senior class would like to especially acknowledge our office coordinator, Ms. Maureen Kostka, and assistant principals, Dr. Brian Booth, Mr. Jason Ghanaian, and Mrs. Ashley Ruka for their additional organization and coordination of today's ceremony. We are honored to have you all participate in today's ceremony.
Additionally, joining the graduating class of 2020 in our virtual audience are approximately 100 staff members at Eastridge High School. They are invited to share their points of celebration in the virtual chat throughout the event. Thank you to our teachers and staff members who have supported us in our journey. We wish we could be together to celebrate, and we miss you.
A very special thank you from the senior class for your dedication to all of us and for being with us today. At this time, I would like to invite a few seniors of our Eastridge Choir for a performance of Go the Distance.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where the heroes welcome will be waiting for me.
Where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate, though that road may wander, it will lead me to you. And 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's enough if slow, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. But to look beyond the glory is the hope.
could go the distance, I will search the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far I can go the distance till I find my heroes welcome waiting in your arms. I will search the world. I will face its heart till I find my heroes welcome waiting in your arms.
Hello, my name is Megan McManus. Two student speakers will represent the class of 2020 today. Sam Padmanabhan auditioned for and earned this privilege as voted on by his peers. Hannah Poor likewise earned this privilege as our student council class president. Sam, the virtual ceremony is yours.
Good evening, class of 2020. In the words of my personal role model, Elle Woods, we made it. It's been a crazy road to this day, especially these last few months. Going into senior year, we all thought the worst thing that could happen would be using a school-issued Chromebook. Yet after not being in school for an entire trimester, I think we can all agree that we'd all enjoy struggling to use these Chromebooks for just one more class period. This year has been unpredictable to say the least, and amidst the chaos that has been 2020, we have to remember that our generation has lived through unprecedented times. 2 recessions, the war on terror, a global pandemic, and now nationwide protests. Things that really make us go, whoa. Unprecedented times bring fear. Fear of an unstable economy, fear of violence, and fear of riots. Yet in the face of all these fears, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt so aptly put it, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Today, I would like to examine a deep-seated fear that is threatening to break down our society, our fear of disagreement. Y'all ever not do an English assignment and then have an in-class discussion about the English assignment? Then you're supposed to describe a color's meaning from The Great Gatsby, and so you say something random about gold. And all of a sudden, the smartest kid in the classroom says, actually, and then you know that you're the definition of screwed. Yeah, I've been there a few times. Miss Carbone, I'm sorry, but I never actually read the Canterbury Tales. In-class discussions have proven to be a well-loved part of high school, but they also point out a broader societal problem. We fear disagreement. If we can't have civil discourse in the walls of a classroom, where can we? When we make arguments and statements, we take pride in them. More importantly, when someone disagrees with them, we feel it's a personal attack. Even more broadly, we fear disagreement because we see conflict as inherently bad. Conflict divides, but agreement unites. Yet even though we hate it, the reality of life is that we disagree. We disagree about almost everything, Republican or Democrat, Kanye or Taylor Swift, and even James Charles or Tati Westbrook. Ironically, there are probably some of you who disagree with me right now about disagreeing. We will always have strong opinions about things, and we will always disagree. And that's okay. Former Texas Representative Tom DeLay explained in his 2006 farewell address, the point is, we disagree. On first principles, we disagree. And so we debate, often loudly and often in vain, to convince our opponents and the American people of our point of view. That is not rancor. That is democracy. What DeLay is clarifying is that debating and disagreeing in and of itself are not harmful, but rather proof that democracy still exists in America. The quality of disagreeing is inherently American. For centuries, Americans have disagreed with the establishment. Indigenous peoples disagreed with colonialism. The colonists disagreed with taxation without representation. The suffrage movement disagreed with the patriarchy, and the civil rights movement disagreed with institutionalized racism. America has a lot of problems and is by no means perfect, but we have the unique ability as citizens of this country to correct the system faults, all because we can disagree. The moment where disagreements stop being productive is the moment we stop listening to understand and start listening to respond. No disagreement is pointless if we listen and maintain respect. In a time where respectful discourse, especially with people of the opposing viewpoints, is so hard, It is on our generation to keep moving the needle a little bit forward. Well, it looks as though my time up here and as a student at Eastridge is almost over. A lot has happened over the past 4 years, and if there's anything that I've learned, is that in order for there to be hills, there have to be valleys. In order for there to be good, there has to be bad. When faced with whatever life throws our way, I am confident that we will make it through. It may not be immediate, but eventually we will keep fighting and make our way past whatever it is we have to deal with. In the words of our generation's favorite poet and philosopher, Drake, I've been down so long it looked like up to me. They look up to me. 2020 has been down bad so far, but our generation has been through a lot and we're used to the hard times. I'll leave you all with the words of Winston Churchill. If you're going through hell, keep going. The only way forward is through, and the only way we can keep moving forward is if we do so together, all while disagreeing respectfully. One issue, one conversation, one step at a time.
And now, I would like to introduce Hannah Poore to the podium.
Hi, I'm Hannah Poore, and I'm the president of Student Council. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to your computer screens today. And to everyone's grandmother who thinks we can see them, we can't. All the parents, teachers, coaches, and extended family watching today have made an impact on all of us graduates. I'm proud to look back at people call our legacy, whatever that means, and say that I'm proud of us, class of 2020. Walking in here freshman year, whipping and neighing all over the place for no reason, with the seniors that were our height but still managed to tower over us with their presence, we had no idea how Eastridge worked. We had no idea that Mr. Kenley would start the year without a beard and end it looking like a completely different person. Or that Mr. Hayes walking up to you and telling you to smell his coffee was completely normal. Or that the slinkies you always saw people playing with in the hallway actually were for learning and not just a free day. We learned from all these teachers and so many more, but I think the biggest things we learned were never in the lesson plans. We learned from Miss Young to be flexible because everyone's going through their own things. We learned from Mr. Stouffer that Diet Coke is the best drink to have during math. We learned from Connie that the best way to meet people and brighten their day is to say, Happy Tuesday. We learned from Mr. Ramey that Junction 70 has the best nachos. We learned how to avoid inhaling baby powder at the football games and that the best in the office aren't as scary as they seem. We have learned so much, so thank you to everyone that took the time to teach us these lessons. We will come back here to Eastridge, not your living rooms, in 10 or 20 years, and we will all be a little more successful and a little less in shape. We will be the next NFL stars, doctors, hairdressers, teachers, artists, plumbers, engineers, electricians, business people, and soldiers. As we have learned, these people are all essential to society, and they change the world in their own ways. We will all have failed and found success in that failure. We will all have different roles and life experiences, but I'm glad we got to share this time. Looking back, we all have memories that we hold close to our hearts. We will be able to flip through the yearbooks and realize that we will never go to another homecoming mosh pit, dance, and come home with bruised toes, or go to football games that get just a little too rowdy and break school property, or be able to chant along with Mr. Shropshire's raps at a pep fest, or show up to school at 7 a.m. for a review session for a test you still failed, or walk into the girls' bathroom and walk right back out because every female was already waiting in line. And we will never go eat lunch in the freezing cafeteria again. All these things that are just a small fraction of the memories we made that help shape us. Now, looking forward. As the class of 2020, we will change the world, and most of us don't even know it yet. We have been through so many crazy world changes that will shape our perspectives and help us inspire change in the world. We will meet people that teach us new lessons and change our views. I apologize in advance if it's because you're learning from a mistake. But we will make mistakes and fail. And like Robin Sharma, a writer and motivational speaker, said, on the other side of your greatest fears lives your greatest life. So it's okay to be scared. Just face that fear and get out of your comfort zone. Because if we don't look back at our failure, we will never get to our greatest lives. I think that is what Mr. Kenley, Fritzy, and Bidwell, and the rest of our history department have been trying to teach us this whole time, that we should learn from our mistakes in the past and be better because of it. I'm confident that we will all find our greatest lives in one way or another, and I'm excited to see what that looks like. I'm honored to graduate with you all today, even if it is virtual. And I'm very excited to see where we all end up. Congratulations, class of 2020, and thank you.
The class of 2020 also selects one staff member to address us at graduation. This staff member symbolizes all the educators who have touched the lives of our graduating class. Miss Gina Carbone, English teacher, has been selected for this opportunity. Miss Carbone, the floor is yours.
Greetings from afar, family and friends who are streaming to help commemorate and celebrate the class of 2020. And a most special and bittersweet hello to you, almost graduates. If the trends on my YouTube channel are any indication, some of you are going to fast forward through or skip this speech altogether. It's not like it's being graded, so just be sure you toss me a like. The story of your senior year began with several revisions to policy and procedure. You questioned and pushed back against Chromebooks and GoGuardian with fears of the software tracking your every move. Little did you realize that you would be trapped with your actual guardians for months. Talk about tracking your movements. You looked forward to days off at the end of the year, creating senior pranks and composing the celebrations from the traditions that were written by the many classes that came before you. 2020 was going to be your year. From the very start, expectations that you had for your senior year were rewritten. While you didn't necessarily embrace those revisions, you did roll with them. When the governor announced the initial closure of schools, you took it as a sequel to spring break. The majority of you initially engaged in distance learning, thinking it would be a few weeks until you would resume your senior year at school, a chance to return to your familiar setting of your academic tale. Then you heard that distance learning would continue through the end of the year. A wave of differing emotions pulsed through the class as another unexpected plot twist directed your sails. We could all feel your energy deflate as, once again, someone else dictated what these final months and moments of high school would look like for you. Much of your life thus far has been written by others. Your parents and social influences shaped your early years. Societal norms composed the tale of when your senior year would begin, as well as expectations for the milestones of this year. Outside forces scribbled when your traditional expected high school experience would come to an end without much transition to a whole new way of being. You will undoubtedly be remembered as a part of history, as you were born in the immediacy of our post-9/11 world, and you come into young adulthood in the midst of a global pandemic and a crisis of continuous civil rights violations. These events, however, will not be the only moments of your life story. For many years, your English teachers have been guiding you to value writing, to understand the importance of having the skills and ability to create your narrative. The protests we've seen across the nation stem from a people trying to take control of their narrative instead of living one penned for them by another hand. As you step into the next page of your life, it is time for you to pick up the pen, to take control of the keyboard. It is time for you to become the author of your own experience. Looking at a blank page is daunting, even more so in times of uncertainty. It is difficult to see beyond the now to the possibilities of what the story could be. Don't allow yourself to get stuck in writer's block when your story is so very significant in shaping our society's future. The foundation of every good story is built around a great protagonist. You have been developing your character, the essence of who you are and what you stand for throughout these early chapters of your life. Continue work on building your personal character. Doing so will strengthen your titular role in your own life while supporting the stories and well-being of others. Your teachers have hopefully instilled in you the importance of planning before writing. Before you begin down any path in life, make a plan. Gather information about your next steps. Figure out what you need to be happy, successful, and valuable in your military service, career field, additional schooling, and global citizenship. While there is something to be said about the beauty of spontaneity, you only get one draft of your life. So make it a best-only draft by planning for the things that are most important to you. Even with the most intentional planning, your outline and subsequent draft may need some alteration. Be open to editing and revisions as you go. Some of the greatest improvements to your writing have come from allowing others to read and comment on your work. What I have said before is worth stressing here again. As the writer, it is up to you to decide what to do with the feedback offered. As you author your own upcoming experiences, there will be a lot of feedback. Take it for what it's worth. If you see the value in others' commentary to positively impact your life and experience, grab a hold of it to live the value of those changes. When you have a trusted editor, listen to them, yet don't merely do everything they suggest. Remember, this is still your story, your life. The power of all great stories stems from the lasting impact on its readers, as ultimately authors gift their stories to the world. While you compose your life tale, be purposeful in drafting your legacy so that it truly is a gift. Pick up those pens and position your fingers at the keyboard. As a fan of yours, I cannot wait to see what you write next. Congratulations, class of 2020. We are counting on your great story. We are counting on your gift.
My name is Jack Lau. Before the class of 2020 is presented, we would like to say a few remarks. These celebrations are a time to share in the joy of what we have all worked so hard for. I know we would all much rather be together in person for this, but it is also a chance for us to honor those people in our lives who have given so much to us. At this time of celebration, please join in a moment of silence as we think about family, friends, colleagues, and those loved ones who are no longer with us today. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Emily Poor. Please note that today's ceremony carries forward the traditions that were established by a graduation committee consisting of students, parents, and staff. Previous graduating classes have agreed that our commencement be short but formal. We have tried to honor these traditions today during our virtual graduation ceremony.
After the presentation and acceptance of the class of 2020, each student will have their name read, and a slideshow will display their picture and name on the screen.
And now, please welcome Principal Smokovich back to the podium for the presentation of the class of 2020.
At this time, I would like to present the class of 2020. These young leaders have distinguished themselves by their outstanding performance, by their caring attitudes towards each other and their community, and by their unwavering willingness to rise to many challenges. They have earned the right to be recognized at our ceremony today. Accordingly, on behalf of the staff at Eastridge High School, the state of Minnesota, and Independent School District 833, Superintendent Keith Jacobus, and members of the School Board of Education, by the authority vested in me as the principal of Eastridge High School, I hereby certify that the members of the class of 2020 gathered at this virtual ceremony have completed the necessary requirements and are eligible to receive a diploma.
On behalf of the School Board of the South Washington County School District, I am proud to accept the Eastridge class of 2020. This certainly is not a senior year that any of us expected or hoped for. But you are now part of history, and you will be forever remembered as the class that faced unthinkable challenges. These challenges are some of the things we could not have imagined a few months ago. And I want you to know, as we watched you during your senior year, you faced these challenges with dignity and grace and Eastridge style. But this year has also taught us about what really matters in life. It's not the materialistic things we have or the material things we have, but it's the relationships of the people we care about and our loved ones. Reaching out to those who had greater challenges than our own, connecting with friends and loved ones, slowing down to reflect on how those loved ones and friends positively impacted our lives. To all of the family members out there watching, I want to thank you for your support. I know there were many nights, weekends, and times helping support your graduate to make it to this great milestone. We know we could not be here without your support. I also want to thank our teachers and our staff, many of whom worked with these graduates since they were in preschool, and their skill and passion for students is the reason we are here tonight, and thank you. I want our seniors to know that the sense of loss they may be feeling is certainly understandable. The loss of being able to walk down the hallways this spring with your friends, the loss of a prom, the loss of the ability to walk across the stage and be part of the pomp and circumstance of a traditional graduation. And although the future may be uncertain, I am hopeful and optimistic that as you assume your roles as leaders in this world, that you will remember to lead with love, compassion, and kindness. Please remember the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. It's golden because if we all did this in every interaction we had, what a wonderful world we could create. We need you more than ever to make the positive changes in this world that those that came before you were unable to make. And we are so excited to see what you will be able to do. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Jacobus, for your words. At this time, Mr. Adam Hayes and Mr. Matthew Howard have been selected by the senior class as name readers, and they will proceed in recognizing the class of 2020. Thank you.
Rana Abdel Shahid.
Ramonda Abdel Shahid.
Asha Qasim Abdi Karim.
Eric Akufo.
Justin Jade G. Alas.
Sydney Allen.
Pavel Luke Amble Gravedahl.
Alfonso Luis Sargado Amores.
Hunter Daniel Anderson.
Enrique Arias Garcia.
DePauli Aurora.
Bennett Coulter Ashton.
Liam Ashton.
Elizabeth Kathleen Avery.
Michael Bach.
Colby Michelle Bachman.
Stephanie Wu Bai.
Stephen Joseph Bailey.
Mauricio Ballack.
Emma Elizabeth Ballantine.
Andrew Barrett.
Jacob Michael Bauer.
Jacob Tyler Becker.
Simone Elizabeth Becker.
Alexander Tadase Belai.
Jakob Christoph Bielik.
Brady Robert Bender.
Grace Ann Bennett.
Stephen Berg.
Abriana Kendall Berger.
Kendra Louise Besser.
Lauren Christine Best.
Ellie Noel Buckelman.
Isaac Bebus.
Abigail Joanne Beerworth.
Zachary Mark Beerworth.
Anna Marjorie Blank.
Emma Joan Block.
Haley Block.
Caleb David Bloomquist.
Francis Bonghan Jr.
Aidan Borth.
Kaitlene Aaron Boyles.
Ethan Edward Bradley.
Evan Roberts Brand.
Wesley Vincent Brand.
Elena Braunschweig.
Brooklyn Marie Brigay.
Colton Alexander Bro.
Nicole Maria Broadwater.
Jack Carter Brown.
Kaylee Ray Brown.
Olivia Linnea Brown.
Valentin Udolfo Bueno L'Oreal.
Aaron Bowie.
Taylor Catherine Bullis.
Avery Lynn Berger.
Kate Ann Burns.
James Julian Kalubayan.
Ben Carlson.
Jessica Ann Carlson.
Bella Carpentier.
Adeline Elizabeth Carter.
Quinn Nicholas Carter.
Jeffrey J. Cates.
Michael Cawthorn.
Evan James Segler.
Emily Katrina Chan.
Howard Chen.
Andrew Cheng.
Mahala Therese Chilson.
William Cho.
Cole Campbell Clark.
Fiona Michelle Clarity.
Evan Parker Clemens.
Allison Kohlberg.
Thomas Conboy.
Alicia Ann Evelyn Cook.
Alexis M. Corcoran.
Seth Alexander Crotty.
Archit Doss.
Laura DeMoya.
Ariel de Santiago.
Mike Dean Hendricks.
Natalie Page DeBaker.
Frank E. Dempsey Hess.
Reese Matthew Dodd.
Connor Thomas Dawkin.
Derek Doles.
Jared Jeffrey Doran.
Olivia Louise Dowdle.
Tyler Michael Drost.
Christopher James Lee Dulier.
Allison Elizabeth Dulka.
Marissa Duran.
Casey Logan Akins.
Cassia Eggert.
Lily Faith Ellingson.
Marin Elliott.
Hassan Elmi.
Destiny Erickson.
Lucas Juan Erickson.
Hermela Tadase Eshete.
Jair Ivan Farias Nuno.
Anthony Lee Fiegler.
Brennan Robert Featherstone.
Cullen Robert Featherstone.
Seth Avery Furlock.
George Thomas Floyd.
Zeph Patrick Forcha.
Caleb Lee Frittinger.
Riley James Frutel. Ahmad Muhammad Geldon.
Grace Emily Gamel.
Sujay Sai Garlapati.
Emma Elise Garrity.
Nevaeh Lane Garrity.
Alexander Jerome Gerber.
Gwyneth Louise Gerlach.
Easton Roy Gibler.
Davion LaShawn Glover.
Nolan Gates.
Udea Sieta Gofa.
Jadida Mieta Gofa.
Joseph Stephen Gossman.
Sinead Enya Goulding.
Corey Gunili.
Sydney Elizabeth Green.
Landon William Greenlee.
Lauren Mary Greenwald.
Lisa Marie Grimes.
Maria Catherine Grismer.
Haley Nicole Groskoff.
Violet June Dorothy Gruitt.
Sahil Goody.
Sydney Gullickson.
Isabella Marie Habel.
Jacob Robert Hain.
Jared Scott Hall.
Matthew Dean Hall.
Gauli Abigail Hang.
Lunsey Rebecca Hong.
Joseph Ryan Harris.
Megumi Ann Hasagawa.
Samuel Haskins.
Gardner Norris Hatch.
Savannah Lee Hatzenbuehler.
Thomas Theodore Haugen.
Kristen Ann Hawken.
Michael Helzer.
Tyler Matthew Henningsen.
David Paul Henry.
Angelina Herr.
Cameron Sadie Hugh.
Mary Elizabeth Hippis.
Rose Hines.
Tony Michael Yelly.
Mason Hoffman.
Owen Michael Hoffman.
Sierra DeVille Holden.
Sydney Ann Holden.
Mihailo Curtis Holleran.
Scott Andrew Hollister II.
Grace Holmes.
Abigail Holwiger.
Abigail Hanza.
James Warner Hoops.
Megan Maureen Horan.
Trayvon Anthony Houston.
Anna Rose Wren.
Noah Wesley Isaacs.
Mitchell Andrew Jensen.
Robert De Lafayette Jeter.
Nellie Johansson.
Lauren Elizabeth Johnson.
Nathaniel Andrew Johnson.
Nick Johnson.
Tanner Austin Johnson.
Grace Lucia Johnston.
William Dylan Johnston.
Ethan Benjamin Jordan.
Ethan Lee Jordan.
Isabel Margaret Jordan.
Reese Christopher Jordan.
Hermione Eleanor Grace Joseph.
Amber Nicole Jocelyn.
Jill Marie Kamen.
Emerald Kelly.
Johannes Chala Cunea.
Lydia Joanna Kettler.
Kashif Ali Khan.
Dido Kibru.
Colby Sean Kiger.
Hunter Kirby.
Emma Catherine Klotzbach.
Ethan Taeyong Ko.
Evan Kulaji.
Effing Ethan Kong.
Austin Korzanowski.
Sierra Kozlowski.
Zachary John Kraus.
Caden Lee Kraus.
Broden Lee Kriesel.
Zach William LaCour.
Baraket Lejabo.
Carolyn Lands.
Riley William Larson.
Destin Lee.
Miles Kamsick Lee.
Luke William Lehman.
Liam Lesham.
Lauren Lewis.
Lauren Olivia Leidy.
Emma Rose Lilly.
Connor Lindahl.
Olivia Grace Lingard.
Weihao Liu.
Colin David Livingston.
Grace Diane Letts.
James Theodore Long.
Hoachi Lor.
Chinu Lor.
Jack Ryan Lau.
Julian Lozano Jerez.
Anya Natalia Liu.
Emily Rose Lucht.
Allison Rose Ludke.
Dylan Thomas Lynch.
Lucy Ma.
Shane Thomas Madden.
Alec Ryan Mahan.
Madison Judith Majeski.
Maria Marine Mena.
Abigail Hope Marshall.
Hannah Grace Marshall.
Ethan Marsick.
Sean Connor Martin.
Manuel Andres Martinez.
Isabella Joyce Massa.
Madeline Grace Machinsky.
Michael George May.
Anya Mazar.
Brendan William McBride.
Ethan John McCaffrey.
Clara Elizabeth McDonald.
Sean Marcus McDonald.
Turner Toshitomo McDonald.
Charles Thomas McGurran.
Brandon Robert McKenzie.
Sean McLaughlin.
Megan Catherine McManus.
Ian Joseph McNeish.
Leave Karen Minders.
Madison Miller.
Olivia Marie Monk.
Kendall J. Moore.
Maxwell John Morris.
Benjamin Nathaniel Mua.
Romeo Chunlith Moak.
Sarah Elizabeth Moynihan.
Mana Moyang.
Anya Solveig Mundal.
Maximus Learmont Munter.
Lilia Justina Murphy.
Ava Isabella Najafi.
Alex Michael Nelson.
Camden Thomas Newman.
Brianna Tao Win.
Tien Ho Win.
Jacob Fred Niaz.
Caroline Jane Nikoloff.
Caitlin Marie Nickel.
Martha O'Donnell.
April Jane O'Mara.
Kaylee Corinna Ojeda.
Rachel Oluwabukola Okeleye.
Catherine Elizabeth Oli.
Colin Joshua Olson.
Cooper James Olson.
Mackenzie Kathleen Olson.
Elena Ortiz.
Lisa Yigua Asai.
Brooke Marie Ott.
Samuel Padmanabhan.
Darwin Pies.
Anushka Ashutosh Pandey.
Reese Pantilla.
Garrett Parker.
Udit Kumar Jagar Kumar Patel.
Eric Pearson.
Jack Riley Pastorius.
Taylor Anna Petterfesso.
Samuel Luke Petshower.
Andres Lamont Pettis.
Jeffrey Ku Pa.
Blake Corey Pittman.
Ethan Lewis Pittman.
Sophia Elizabeth Plouts.
Maunika Ramani Polamreddy.
Rahul Polavarapu.
Emily Ray Poor.
Hannah Renee Poor.
Samuel Jacob Poor.
Anoop Pradhan.
Maddie Page Prescott.
Austin John Pringle.
Ira Polielo.
Leah Louise Puppy.
Michelle Puppy.
Nathan Jackson Racette.
Alexa Raisler.
Caitlin Raitt.
Abhinaya Rajesh.
Megan Joy Rasmussen.
Evelyn Ruth Ratzloff.
Ashna Ray.
Caitlin Reardon.
Tessa Lee Regner.
Tegan Reindl.
Farhan Reshi.
Allison May Richmond.
Sydney Nicole Richmond.
Blake Reitzer.
Ariana Amada Rivero.
Joseph Andrew Rosser.
Max Rolig.
Athena Roscoe.
Minerva Roscoe.
Michael Rossheim.
Michaela May Ross.
Ramon David Ruiz.
Amy Ruiz Plaza.
Paige Saywert.
Benjamin Carter Sam.
Eric Andrew Sandberg.
Kennedy Christopher Henry Sanneman.
Dominic Schaefer.
Megan Shea.
Savannah Morgan Schemenauer.
Sean Michael Schifferl.
Emma Nicole Schiffsky.
Daniel John Schmidt.
Rachel Elizabeth Schneider.
Eli Robert Schuster.
Brian Scott.
Shayla Schaefer.
Amber Lorraine Sharp.
Sophia Shea.
Sarah Raquel Silva.
Hallie Joe Sims.
Miles Takashi Sitkowicz.
Maddie Slavin.
Hannah Catherine Smith.
Jack Smith.
Paige Elise Smoley.
Holly Lynn Smythe.
Arthur Thomas Snow.
Samuel David Soderberg.
Zachary Barr Soderberg.
Nathan John Summers.
Devin Lee Soto.
Charlotte Sparks.
Ayana Marie Stauffer.
Ella Jordan Stegman.
James Michael Stenstrup.
Camden Christopher Stevens.
Bailey Faith Stevenson.
Elizabeth Michelle Storm.
Logan Thomas Struss.
Shayliana Stirk.
Charles Swanson.
Jake Douglas Swanson.
Mason Fielding Swift.
Emma Therese Samala.
Katya Sophia Terracito.
Michael James Tarara.
Isabella Mia Terzian.
Faith Tao.
Isaac Tao.
Isabel C. Tao.
Laura Alexandra Tice.
Allison Thomas.
Zachary Troy Thompson.
Ella Grace Tollison.
Drew Tovar.
Will Brian Tracy.
Lauren Madison Treble.
Hunter Treader.
Samuel Ryan Trevis.
Marco Joel Trohe.
Madeline Weber Upson.
Julian Yuseche Paredes.
Charlie Vance.
Christopher Kingshaw Vang.
Punia Vang.
Tong David Vang Sittler.
Cortez Jorge Villanueva.
Cruz Jorge Villanueva.
Emily Vo.
Tana Lalani Vogely.
Nicole Vu.
Fallon Walker.
Ross Michael Walker.
Macy James Wamstad.
Macaulay Ward.
Nathaniel Cole Wagleski.
Hannah Wide.
Ellie Weinmeier.
Noah James Weinmeier.
Eliza Jane Welch.
Tyler Daniel Wenshaw.
Ian Werta.
Zach Werta.
Zachary Ryan Wisecup.
Lucia Rebecca Whitico.
Nate Whitty.
Taylor Joe Wold.
Will Walter.
Johannes G. Wandimu.
Autumn Wibben.
Solomon Worm.
Talia Delilah Shong.
Hunter Yang.
Kalina Yang.
Kensai Yang.
Luisa Maria Yela Jurado.
Jisoo Yum.
Jane Yu.
Iris Olivia Youngdahl.
Faith Ellen Urick.
Seth Zerwas.
Isabel Wanyi Zhu.
Joe Zhu.
Eliana Lynn Zimmerman.
Emily Ann Zittel.
Daniel Zhu.
Mariana Grace Zuniga.
Graduates, please rise. The tassel ceremony symbolizes the transformation and acceptance of seniors to the next level of education and life. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Parents, guardians, families, school district officials, and special guests, I present to you the Eastridge High School graduating class of 2020. Congratulations and go Raptors. Congratulations.